What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode thrice of our Build in Public series. Today we have a special one. It's a banger. We're going to show off this massive redesign that we did of changing our user structure around to be way more beneficial. But first, as many of you know, this past Monday was 7/7, July 7th. Who cares? To the normal person, means nothing. But to those of us in the cult of Morkborg, it's essentially a Morkborg holiday. Uh, it's honoring 7/7, the seventh misery, to happen on the calendar of Necrobell, essentially when the world dies within the Morkborg system. So, naturally, to keep the party going, we're going to feature Morkborg in this demo as just honoring our cult, and taking it a step further. So if you follow our socials, you know that our first early adopter cohort, finished. And why do we talk about Morkborg so much? Well, it's because our early adopter pool has naturally formed as a vast majority of Morkborg cultists. What I mean by that is the vast majority of designers and studios that we have in this first cohort are creators of Morkborg content. So, for example, Creature Curations, a studio behind Vastgrim and The Molt, of mega in-space punk version of Morkborg. Madness Heart Games that have plenty of Morkborg material, probably the most well-known Whispers of the Dead Saint zine, but so much more from Madness Heart Games. Heltung Storytelling behind Corpborg, one of the biggest slash Borg games you got out there. It's amazing. Love Heltung. And then the new Driftwood Archives behind the up-and-coming Chainsaw, which is a Morkborg system based on horror, like kind of movies and inspired by horror. Also has guest spots within the system of Madness Heart Games creator and Pele and Nor from Stockholm Cartel themselves. So mega. All this to say is Neural Sanctum, our first early adopter group, it just makes sense for us to honor thy Morkborg. We're all fans and we all love the system. So, some disclaimers before we get into it. Number one, everything you see today does not use AI. Neural Sanctum does not have any AI-based features, nor is it an AI product. We're not interested in that. We don't need AI, any of that stuff. We use good old algorithms. Number two, everything you see today is unfinished software. This Build in Public series, I don't even edit these videos. I just one-shot record them. And this is stuff that I've literally just shipped within the week. Our early adopters don't even have access to this yet. So super new. Everything you see is more than likely going to change, design, features, everything when we get to beta. Last thing, all the data you see today is fake. I cannot express this enough. It's fake seeded data. We're going to look at that here in a second. But just to be very clear, Stockholm Cartel is not in our early adopter group yet. This is just me trying to prepare for studios like Stockholm Cartel that has a more intricate system. But if they ever want to join the early adopter group, they're in. You just let me know, DM me. I would love to have you in to help us make the software the best it could be before we release. Okay, so having said that, the big theme this week is we moved from, if you watched episode 1, we kind of had some publisher-based features. And that's never really made sense to me, but I did want to account for that just in case. But essentially, what has happened is as the product has matured and we got our early adopter group in, it's just made less and less sense. So this past couple of weeks, we completely gutted the whole system and moved it to a more holistic user-based system based on the natural life cycle of the designer. So if you're new to Syncdom, if this is your first video, all you need to know is Syncdom is our product for tabletop roleplay game designers to help you have a tool that allows you to design, build, and scale your games in a collaborative way throughout the lifetime of your entire career. So this is not anything new. People in other industries have had this for decades. For example, software developers have GitHub, something that we're going to look at that allows me to have snapshot history of every single thing I commit to code. Designers like illustrators have had, like Noor, have had Adobe Illustrator since like the 80s. I think photographers have Photoshop. Web designers have Figma, a platform that's now owned by Adobe that essentially allows you to design websites and web applications that are meant for the browser. It provides those restrictions, makes it easy for you and the developer handoff. We're doing that for the tabletop roleplay game industry because I'm passionate about giving the tools the designers need that just don't exist. It drives me nuts. And so that's why I'm building Syncdom, and that's what Syncdom is. And so it's so important what we're doing for the longevity of this industry and the accessibility of being a designer in the industry. And hopefully you'll see that potential today. Okay, so that's Syncdom. So let's check out this seed data. We moved to an org-based system, and now it naturally complements the life cycle of the designer. So what I mean by that is if you're someone starting out, you know, we call you a starter. You're kind of just playing around with wanting to become a designer, learning what it takes. Then maybe you publish your first book and it goes really well. You're now a creator. And then you start building your portfolio. We call you a professional now. You're starting to freelance with other people. You're getting pretty big. And then you become a studio or a team of people like Stockholm Cartel, where you're a collective group of people working together to make the portfolio even bigger. And then from that, an organization, mega people like Paizo or Wizards of the Coast or whatever. So this organization model dramatically complements that, but also opens up the door to so much potential that we never had before that can connect and help us to share assets and do so much more with the platform. So let me show you what we're talking about. So let's start out with the seed data. This is the fake data that we're going to be seeing today. This is essentially us loading up our database to make sure we're accommodating for all the right areas. So you can see here that we have some different users that we've created. We have a bunch of indie creators. You can think that these are like our early adopters that aren't quite to the studio point yet and at the different levels. So indie creator is essentially someone that's on our professional tier that has one or two systems out or none at all. They're doing it for the first time. All the other indie creator viewers, let's pretend that that's now becoming more studio-like, but not a studio. They're freelancing with each other, working together collaboratively, but they each have their own unique studios. Now you can see that Stockholm Cartel, which is a little more complicated, we have Noor that we're going to make the admin. We're going to be working through Noor's account. Granted, Noor is the visual designer. No, sorry, we're going to be working through Pelly's account because he is essentially like the main the systems designer of Morkborg. Text and game design is exactly what the book says. And then we have Christian who does Cyborg, but all are kind of intertangled. Pele has his own organization, Occult, but is also part of Stockholm. So this is what we're going to be looking at today, and this is why it's important, because we have a higher level of complexity of collaboration here. So without further ado, let's check it out. So I'm logged in as Pelly within this scenario. And so we can see here that at the very start, we now have a much easier way to kind of navigate through the systems through our organizations. So we can see that Pelly has a personal organization once you sign up for Neural. Once you sign up for Sanctum, you're automatically given a personal organization. That's where all your stuff works. But depending on which tier you'll be a part of, you can create and join other organizations. So Pelly has his personal spot that he maybe doesn't want to devote stuff to occult yet. Maybe this is a brainstorming, who knows? But then he has his occult area, and then he's also part of the Stockholm Cartel. So within the cartel, we can see that we have 3 repositories that are each different permission-based. So we have Morkborg, Cyborg, Death in Space. Morkborg, we marked public. This essentially means it's an open source project. So this is why the organization is so powerful from the beginning, is that everyone in Sanctum can now contribute to Morkborg or any repository that's marked public. This dramatically opens up the doors to collaboration in a way that's always existed in software development since like the 70s at this point. Likewise, Cyborg is internal. This means it's only accessible to the team, or the organization. So because we're in Stockholm, we can see this. Anyone outside of Stockholm won't be able to see this, which just means that only the team can edit it. And lastly, just for demo's sake, we made Death in Space private. This just means only the admin or the owner of the organization can see it. So because we put Pele as an admin, he has access to his private. Christian wouldn't in this aspect. So this allows you to see the potential of having a collaborative environment, but having secure workspaces, essentially to where if I'm freelancing with people, I could just give them direct access to a single repo versus the whole catalog that we have. Don't worry about personal workspace. Now that we have organizations, this is kind of void. So just imagine we rip that out, because that's probably going to be the next update, is just removing workspaces now to where it's just organizations and repositories. Okay, so that's part 1 of the organization goodies. It goes even further. Now that we have organizations, we could directly associate licenses with the organizations. So because we're in the Stockholm Cartel, we know that we have 3 licenses associated with 3 different game systems. Granted, these licenses are pretty much the same in the system, but it's the systems that are different. Within Sanctum, if you create your own system, because each repository holds a lot of things. It holds your version control history. Right now we see there's no history within the system because we haven't done anything in here yet. But we know that there is a protected main branch that's super nerdy stuff, and we know that we have collaborators. It's just me in here right now, or just Pele, excuse me. And so this is where things start to take place in the long run is we go in here, we create a new game system, and then after we have our game system created, then we create game content, like maybe we want to create a zine, or maybe we want to create a rules book, or maybe we want to create an adventure. Now all of that is stored in a version controlled way within the single location that if it's open source, people can contribute to any area of it. So it's super important. But let's talk about licenses. So because we're in Stockholm Cartel, we have the organization of Stockholm as essentially the owners of these licenses. So why is this important? Because we can see that they're published. This is important because now Sanctum has the ability to where if you create a new game system that we're going to do like core rules, we're going to make this public because it's an open source repo. We're going to say we're working on this system. Let's pretend. But watch this. Now when we do associate a license with this system, which you have to have a license in order to make a system, so Sanctum holds you accountable and makes sure you have your legal basis covered, we're going to go to Morkborg and check this out. Because of this whole organization change, we now can give you everything that you need as a designer for a system. So with Morkborg, granted, keep in mind that this is the team managing this. So this is me putting in fake data. So this is not the actual license. However, this is our license assistant, which is our way of helping organizations create licenses that are easy to understand. Morkborg's already an easy license to understand, but you can see here that we provide you with the summary, access to the full license, permissions, what you can do, restrictions, what you can't do, and if there's any assets related to that license in that system, we provide that for you as well. So because with Morkborg, you have to use the compatible with Morkborg. We're giving that to you. You don't even have to worry about that anymore. So now when we do add license and create a game system, now we're in our system area where we have our ideation canvas, future features where we're going to break down how to create and manage your system really easily, where we approach it like brands do design systems. So in branding, you have this thing called a design system that's essentially shared throughout all your art files that gives you a consistent look and feel. That is the system for the tabletop roleplay game. We're applying that same logic to Sanctum, to where essentially once you create a system and associate a license to it, if it is open, anyone in Sanctum can extend that system. So Cyborg can now use the blocks that Pele has created in Morkborg and add more to that and change it, adjust it, change the calendar like it does, and do everything. But check this out. Now we have our functional breadcrumb menu. We have Morkborg. We can go through any other repository we want. But we're going to go back. Let's go to the workspace. I wanted to go to the repo to show you. Check this out. Now we have the game system. We automatically version control it for you. You don't have to worry about versioning. Every time you make a change to the system, we adjust the version. We automatically tell you the license, associate the assets with it, and let you know what's your status like. So this is still in draft mode. I'm not done with the system, so no one can use it. But check this out. The history has the history associated with it. 1 minute ago, we created our first game system. So because this is a creation, there's nothing really to see. But imagine that if you had a system and you changed like a weapon or something, this would show that you changed a weapon. You could click on it and see the difference, the before and the after. And we keep that snapshot throughout the entire history while version controlling it. So you know exactly what version changed when, that we also are able to tell you like, hey, this is possibly going to be a breaking change that's going to affect a lot of people. So imagine we release, the entire Morkborg creator community comes on here. They're all extending the system. Pele's like, you know what, let's make Morkborg version 2. Or maybe something happens, some weird scenario that they need to change the license. So they update the Morkborg license, and let's say that, for example, I don't know why, they update a permission. So we let them know, like, hey, you just changed your license. Now your version is outdated. This is important for legal. We don't want to automate this. We want the user to choose to make this decision. I changed that version. The message goes away, but now every person using the system gets an email saying the Morkborg license has been updated. And this is how it might affect your system. This is crucial because now this single change that right now we would have no idea happens, Synctum is able to show you and create the ripple effect throughout the entire community and network of designers that everyone that's using the system will be affected by it and how it will be affected by it. This is massive, massive, massive. So where do we go from here? So you could think of this being even more functional, being able to see like your system within Morkborg, like maybe you click here and we're able to determine like very easy, like what's a system, what's a rule book, what's a zine or whatever. This being much more functional is the next goal, but this essentially becoming a hub for the entire design community. So now not only are we making it much easier for people and accessible for people to become roleplay game designers, we're opening the collaborative doors for open source contribution and collaboration that is much easier to work with each other and contribute to projects. Given the access that you have on each organization and each project within each organization, but also a hub. So imagine one day, instead of seeing this dashboard, you see all the same information, but maybe it's a feed of everyone that you follow. So maybe we add following, like I want to follow Nora, or I want to follow Pelly or Christian. And you could see on a daily basis, Christian updated weapon in Cyborg version 111, whatever. Pele created a new repository, whatever, if it was public. Of course, we wouldn't want to display anything private. But now we're just providing this communal feel in this collaborative environment in a way that we just never were before, now that we are simply org based. So that's it today. It's a little longer. Sorry about that, but super, super massive. This is so important for the future of roleplay game design. We will have a Kickstarter later this year to raise enough money to keep the lights on. This is a very expensive project. I am working nights and weekends to achieve it, and I'm flying solo. But massive thanks to our early adopter group. I can't thank them enough. They're contributing, like everything that you see here is essentially due to their contribution. If you're interested in being an early adopter, please DM me. Whether on Discord or emailing us through the website or registering. But Neural is coming. Synctum is about to open the doors to so many people. It's unreal, and I'm so excited. Once again, if you're a member of the Stockholm Cartel and are interested in helping us become in this early adopter group, please hit me up because you're in. That's it. Peace.